Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again for allowing us to be a part of your life. Thank you for just letting us sit down and spend a few minutes with you every day teaching the Bible. Tonight in Revival Nights, and we encourage you to be in the Revival Nights every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, just to seek God. Forgive me, but church is not about going to church. We don't need to go to church. We need the presence of God. We don't need to hear the preacher. We need the presence of God. Our physical body as well as our soul cries out for the presence of God. So I'll encourage you to be in Revival Nights. Tonight, I'm going to be teaching you on the blessings of the seeker. I'll look forward to seeing you there. But right now, let me talk to you about something nobody wants to think about. And that's that we all do eventually get old. In Psalms chapter 71, Paul says in verse 9, "Do not cast me away when I'm old. Do not forsake me when my strength is gone." There comes a day in each of our lives when our strength is gone. There comes a day in each of our lives when we're old and our strength is gone. And we don't like to think about that, but this physical body that we live in, Paul says, is a tent. It's a temporary dwelling. It's not a permanent dwelling. Now, in my short life, I've watched a lot of interesting things, and maybe the most painful thing I've watched is how old enemies come back and attack you when you've grown old and your strength is gone. Sometimes those old enemies would be sickness and disease, and it comes up again. Sometimes those old enemies are people that you've had business conflicts with in the past. Sometimes in the church world, I've watched preachers destroyed by people that they've had conflicts with in the past when they're old and their strength is gone. We have to understand that there will come a day when we're old and our strength is gone, and God will not fail us and God will not forsake us. But we need to prepare for that day. We need to make sure that when our strength is gone, we are protected. That when our strength is gone, we are still able to take care of ourselves. When our strength is gone and we cannot earn and everything else, that we've got money in the bank to take care of us in our old age and to leave an inheritance for our children's children. Now, some of you are listening to me today, and forgive me, you're not the spring chickens we all once used to be. When I first started pastoring Cathedral of Praise, I was 23 years old and had all my hair, was very strong and very handsome, and look at me now. Some parts have gotten a lot bigger and some parts have fallen out, and we all get older. And we need to realize that we're not what we were when we were 23, 24, 25 years old. Now, we have to remind ourselves of that because, to be blunt, you never really think that you're getting old because you never feel old. I'm 57 years old, and I don't feel old. I mean, I still preach, my goodness, 10, 12, 13 times a week? I don't feel old, but I need to realize, I don't bounce back as fast as I used to. In other words, my strength is not what it was in my 20s. And when I'm in my 70s, if Jesus tarries, it won't be what it is today. And when I'm in my 80s, it won't be what it is today. So let's understand and let's make some preparations out there in the future that when we're old and our strength is gone, our enemies don't come back at us again, just like they did with David. Remember, one of the sons of David, in his oldness and his weakness, tried to take over the kingdom instead of Solomon. Never forget the lessons of David. When he's old and the strength is gone, old enemies come back.